Starting on day one, we will end inflation and make America affordable again. Affordability. It's the first time I heard the word. I'm 2 days in. Under my leadership, the United States will commit to the ambitious goal of slashing energy and electricity prices by half, at least half. We intend to slash prices by half within 12 months, at a maximum 18 months. Prices will come down. You just watch. They'll come down, and they'll come down fast. Starting the day I take the oath of office, I will rapidly drive prices down, and we will make America affordable again. We're going to make it affordable again.
Oil is now trading at nearly 48% higher costs compared to when Trump first launched his war on Iran, turning his aggressive policy into a self-inflicted economic shock. Analysts warn this is shaping up to be the worst energy crisis since the 1973 Arab oil embargo, with the United States dragging the world to the brink of economic collapse through its hardline posture.
Voter, I don't care about you. I just want your vote. I don't care.
President, to what extent are Americans' financial situations motivating you to make a deal?
Not even a little bit. The only thing that matters when I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about American financial situation. I don't think about anybody.
It would hurt consumers, and we'd have to think about, if that continued, what we would have to do about that. But that's like really the last of our concerns right now, because we're very confident that this thing is going ahead of schedule.
Food prices, grocery prices, core inflation, those numbers are up.
We are now deeper in the red. Markets do not like what they're seeing.
This is pretty devastating, actually.
If you take a look here, we asked folks, has Donald Trump's policies affected the local cost of living for you? 77% in our poll say his policies have increased the cost of living. And let me just say, that includes a majority of Republicans. 55% of Republicans say Trump policies has increased the cost of living for them.
Now the expectation is not really for inflation to get much better throughout most of 2026. That's the story that you're seeing in these reports. Essentially, there's going to be some tariff inflation passing through on the good side. Now you have energy prices impacting services. It probably just isn't going to get that much better from here, and I think investors know that. They're focused on the AI story and hoping this inflation story doesn't get too much worse.
You promised to bring inflation, Mr. President, you promised to bring inflation down. It's now at its highest level in 3 years. Are your policies not working?
No,
What's
my
happening?
policies are working incredibly.
Consumer prices increased at a faster than expected pace last month, rising at the fastest rate since May of 2023. And raising further concerns about the inflationary impact on the U.S. economy.
This is another inflation setback, and it's being driven in large part by the war. So consumer prices soaring by 3.8% year over year in April. That is worse than expected, and that is the highest level in almost 3 years.
Oh my God, inflation is up to 3.8%, but that can't be. That's higher than the rate of inflation when Trump took over from Sleepy Joe.
The promise of a Trump presidency in the minds of the American people have turned into a reality, and a reality that for them is a nightmare. Because just take a look here. Okay, Trump will or is making you financially worse off, better off. Back in October of 2024, the reason why he won a second term, 44% said better off, outrunning the worse off at 38%. But look at these numbers. Down through the floor on the better off now, just 14%. Just 14%. I see Johnny off on the side shaking his head. Trump making them financially better off. Meanwhile, the worse off up like a rocket. The clear majority now, 57% of Americans now say that Trump is making them financially worse off. You know, back in 1980, Ronald Reagan asked, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? As America's look back now, compared to a year and a half ago, their minds on Donald Trump are definitely saying he's made them worse off.
I mean, look at that drop, a 30-point drop in a couple of years. And if you think 14% is low.
Yeah, if you think 14% is low, how low can you go? Well, how about this? Okay, Trump Willer is making you financially worse off, better off among independents. Look at this. The better off now is just 8. It's just 8. When you can count it on your hands, you know the number is low. Just 8% say that Trump is making them financially better off among independents. Way, way down from the 40% who said that back in October of 2024 when the better off was outrunning the worse off at 38%. Look at that. That 38%, again, up like a rocket. I feel like I'm at NASA. Look at this. 64% of independents now say that Trump is making them financially worse off. These are numbers we've seen among independents over and over and over again. They have turned against Trump, and now about two-thirds of them.
I mean, these independent numbers are staggering. I mean, 8% is not zero.
No,
but it's closer to zero than it is to 50.
That's exactly right. When you're closer to 0% than you are to 50% as a politician, you know your numbers are bad.
All right, independents obviously a key swing group. What about some of the groups that were key or have been in the past to Donald Trump's electoral success?
Yeah, normally you want to be winning over independents because the way independents go is the way the nation goes. But you definitely want to be holding on to your base. And of course, one key part of Donald Trump's base is non-college whites without a college degree. And even they are flipping on the President of the United States. Trump is or will make you financially worse off, better off. Back in October of 2024, look at that, 54% better off, well outpacing worse off at 30%. Now we're looking at basically the inverse. Just 15% say better off among white voters without a college degree. Trump is making them financially better off. And now even there, the majority of non-college whites, a key part of Donald Trump's base, are saying he's making them financially worse off. These are numbers that would make me, if I were a Republican running in the midterm elections, be quite worried.
These numbers are sure telling a story. The question is, it's 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Are they reading it?
But what is different in the outrage against Trump's latest abuse of the presidency is that all of those comments came from lawmakers in Trump's own party. It's something we've rarely seen during this administration, but apparently this is a line that is becoming too far for even Republicans to cross. Blanche failed to win over Senate Republicans in a closed-door meeting on Thursday. Yesterday, Senator Ted Cruz described it as, quote, one of the roughest meetings I've seen in my entire time in the Senate. Fiery does not begin to cut it, Cruz said. My guess is there are probably 45 senators in the room. At least half of them were blasting the attorney general, and they were pissed. Coming from Ted Cruz, that's saying a lot. There were multiple senators yelling at the attorney general, saying this feels like self-dealing. And it's not just Senate Republicans pushing back. We are also seeing some signs of resistance from their colleagues in the House. There's now a bipartisan bill to block this fund, co-authored by Republican Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick. Whether it'll ever be brought to the floor for a vote is yet to be seen.